Nikola Madžirov est poète, essayiste et traducteur. Il est né en 1973 dans une famille de réfugiés de guerre à Strumica, qui faisait partie de la Yougoslavie au moment de sa naissance et qui est aujourd'hui en République de Macédoine du Nord. Nikola Madžirov est considéré comme l'un des poètes européens les plus importants vivant aujourd'hui. Ses poèmes sont traduits dans plus de 40 langues. Pour son livre Relocated Stone, publié en 2007, il reçoit le prix international de poésie Hubert Burda pour les écrivains nés en Europe de l'Est, ainsi que le prix de poésie macédonien le plus prestigieux, le prix Miladinov Brothers, octroyé à l'occasion du Festival international de poésie de Struga. Parmi ses autres récompenses, citons le prix Studentski Zbor pour le meilleur premier recueil de poésie et le prix Zhimo Silverleaf de poésie européenne au King's College de Cambridge au Royaume-Uni. De nombreuses bourses internationales lui ont été octroyées. Il a été invité à participer aux programmes de résidence internationaux les plus prestigieux comme le DAAD à Berlin et l'International Writing Programme à l'Université de l'Iowa aux États-Unis. Ses poèmes et essais ont été publiés dans la NZZ, Die Zeit, Tagesspiegel, London Times, American Poetry Review, Modern Poetry in Translation, et des critiques sur son travail ont été publiées dans Der Spiegel, Tagesspiegel, El País, World Literature Today. En tant que traducteur, Nikola a traduit la poétesse Louise Gluck, lauréate du prix Nobel, l'écrivain bulgare Georgi Gospodinov, lauréat du Booker Prize, ainsi que d'autres grands poètes. Pour terminer, j'aimerais citer le poète polonais et candidat au prix Nobel Adam Zagajewski, ancien résident à Lavigny en 2000, qui écrit à propos de sa poésie. Les poèmes de Madžirov sont comme des peintures expressionnistes, remplies de larges zébrures pleines d'énergie, qui semblent émerger de l'imagination et y retourner tout droit, comme des animaux nocturnes pris dans les faisceaux des phares d'une voiture. Nous sommes les vestiges d'une autre époque. Nikola Madžirov réussit à nous en convaincre.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
There are a few words in French that I speak, I'm sorry, and so I took out my glasses to be closer to you. First, I would like to thank to Chateau de Lavigny for hosting me here, to Sophie, to Espische Stiftung for bringing me here, and it's such a pleasure and honor to be with now my friends, I'm sure, and Salah and Tanta, Khadija and Fanny. And thank you for coming here. We were all facing birds, flowers, beautiful sounds. It's good to see people. It's helpful. It's helping also us our writing, because writing is just a postponed dialogue, and now we're here to talk in silence. And I will read first my poems in English, and then my mother tongue and in French. Home. I lived at the edge of the town, like a street lamp, whose light bulb no one ever replaces. Cobwebs held the walls together and sweat our clasped hands. I hid my teddy bear in halls, in crudely built stone walls, having him from dreams. Day and night I made the threshold come alive, returning like a bee that always returns to the previous flower. It was a time of peace when I left home. The bitten apple was not bruised. On the letter, a stamp with an old, abandoned house. From birth, I have migrated to quiet places, and voids have clung beneath me like snow that doesn't know if it belongs to the earth or to the air. Like snow doesn't know. Air or earth. I don't know. The title is not so optimistic, but distant are all the houses I'm dreaming of. Distant is the voice of my mother calling me for dinner, but I run toward the fields of wheat. We are distant like a ball that misses the goal and goes towards the sky. We are alive like a thermometer that is precise only when we look at it. The distant reality every day questions me like an unknown traveler who wakes me up in the middle of the journey saying, "Is this the right bus?" And I answer, "Yes." But I mean, I don't know. I don't know the cities of your grandparents who want to leave behind all discovered diseases and cures made of patience. I dream of a house on the hill of our longings to watch how the waves of the sea draw the cardiogram of our falls and loves. How people believe so as not to sink, and step so as not to be forgotten. Distant are all the huts where we hid from the storm and from the pain of the deers dying in front of the eyes of the hunters who were more lonely than hungry. The distant moment every day asks me, "Is this the window? Is this the life?" And I say yes, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know if birds will begin to speak, to whisper without saying, without telling, without speaking. War. War. Past is the century. If I were wind, I would have peeled the bark of the trees and the facades of the buildings in the outskirts. If I were gold, I would have been hidden in cellars, into crumbly earth and among broken toys. I would have been forgotten by the fathers, but their sons, their children, would remember me forever. If I were a dog, I wouldn't have been afraid of refugees. If I were a moon, I wouldn't have been scared of executions. If I were a wall clock, I would have covered the cracks on the wall. Past is the century. We survived the weak earthquakes watching towards the sky, yet not towards the ground. We opened the windows to let in the air of the places we have never been, and wars don't exist since someone wounds our heart every day. Past is the century, faster than the word. If I were dead, everyone would have believed me when I kept silent. I will read the next poem in the Macedonian, and I will ask my friend Fanny to read it in French for you. Yeah.
It's not the same height.
Okay, we'll do it. So yeah, like Peter Gabriel and Ken Bush now. Or Senki te ne odminovat. Еден ден ќе се сретнеме како бродче од хартија и лубеница што се лади во реката, немирот на светот ќе биде со нас, со дланките ќе го помрачиме сонцето и со фенер ќе се доближуваме. Еден ден Vetrot nema da go promeni pravec od brezata ke isprati lisjevo našite čepli pred pragot, volcite ke trgna ponašata nevinnost. Peperutkite ke go ostavac svoj prav raznašite obrazi. Една старица секое утро ќе раскажува за нас во чекалната и ова што го кажувам е веќе кажано. Го чекаме ветрот како две знамиња на граничен премин. Еден ден сите сенки ќе не одминат.
Les ombres nous dépassent. Un jour, nous nous rencontrerons comme un bateau en papier et une pastèque au frais dans la rivière. Tous les mois du monde sera avec nous. Avec nos mains, nous obscurcirons le soleil et avec une lanterne, nous nous rapprocherons. Un jour, le vent ne changera pas de direction. Le saule enverra des feuilles dans nos souliers sur le seuil. Les loups suivront notre innocence. Les papillons laisseront leur poussière sur nos joues. Une vieille, chaque matin, parlera de nous dans la salle d'attente. Et ce que je dis est déjà dit. Nous attendons le vent comme deux drapeaux à un passage frontière. Un jour, toutes les ombres nous dépasseront.
Next poem is short. I wrote it because one of my grandmothers used to be paid to cry on the graves, to make other people more sad. And I was waking up when she was rehearsing in the yard. Vidov sonovi na koji nikoj ne se sekjava i plaćenja na pogrešni grobovi, vidov pregradki v avion što paja i ulici su otvoreni arteriji, vidov vulkani što spijat podolgo od koren od nesemejnoto steblo, jedno dete koje ne se plaši od doždot, samo mene nikoj ne me vide, samo mene nikoj ne me vide.
J'ai vu des rêves. J'ai vu des rêves dont personne ne se souvient et des pleurs sur des tombes erronées. J'ai vu des étreintes dans un avion qui sombre et des rues aux artères ouvertes. J'ai vu des volcans dormant plus longuement que la racine de l'arbre familial et un enfant qui ne craint pas la pluie. Mais moi, personne ne m'a vu. Mais moi, personne ne m'a vu.
And the last poem, very short, it was not planned, but we talked to Salah today about the lake, ships, about shores, longing time, and then I read this poem to him, said, let's read it tonight. I'm sorry that, I hope you will survive these few lines. Епохите на копнежот. Стојам притаен како галеб кој чека рибата да летне. Патници со исти завети и очекувања се менуваа на пристаништето, годините бавно се лизга по едрата како дождовница, по лошо нивелирана патека и епохите на копнежот завршуваа зад хоризонтот во селото на брегот, каде една старица ноќе ги криеше парите по марамата, што некогаш ја покриваше незината коза.
Les époques du désir. Je me tiens furtif aux aguets, telle une mouette attendant l'envol du poisson. Des voyageurs, aux mêmes promesses et attentes, se sont succédés sur le port. Les années ont glissé lentement sur les voiles, comme l'eau de pluie sur un chemin mal nivelé. Les époques du désir ont fini derrière l'horizon, dans le village sur la rive où une vieille la nuit cachait ses pièces dans le fichu qui jadis recouvrait ses cheveux. Merci.
Merci beaucoup.